Yeah. Go ahead. Call special meeting of the Harlan Township Board of Trustees to order. A special meeting due to the holidays. Calling it to conduct our normal business. Please sign in if you have not done so. And a reminder, you're being recorded. Will you please join me for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And would you please read the notes from the last meeting?
Board of Trustees of Harlan Township met in regular session this 18th day of December 2024 at regular meeting place of 8276 State Route 132. Trustees Edward Progensky, Kevin Kern, and Marcus Shelton present. Meeting called to order by Mr. Shelton at 7 p.m. Mr. Shelton asked all present to stand and say Pledge of Allegiance. Minutes read from regular session December 4, 2024. Mr. Kern made a motion to approve minutes as read, second by Mr. Progensky. Chief Pegram discussed proposed fire levy and provided trustees a copy of resolution for Warren County auditors to certify the current tax evaluation for review. Chief Pegram discussed purchase of rescue tool using $27,000 from the low fund grant received in 2023 and 2024. To purchase the complete set of battery extrication tools would cost approximately $47,459. Mr. Shelton made a motion to purchase a complete set of battery extrication tools for approximately $47,459. $47,459, seconded by Mr. Progensky. Chief Pegram discussed receiving $4,220.98 grant from the State of Ohio Public Safety Division of EMS, which is the seatbelt grant. Chief Pegram requested to purchase miscellaneous EMS supplies and training equipment with the grant. Mr. Kern made a motion to purchase EMS and supplies and training equipment not to exceed $5,000, seconded by Mr. Progensky. Chief Pegram reported Engine 81 back in service, Brush 81 out of service, and met with the fire department officers and membership and mutual aid fire chiefs on staffing issues, mutual aid, and plan for the levy. Mr. Mason reported new culvert installed at Starkey Road department working on road ditching and various shop projects. Mr. Mason continues to work on possible replacement of the boom mower and working with unified technology to upgrade the IT and phone system. Mr. Mason received retirement letter from Assistant Chief Jamie Whitaker. Mr. Shelton made a motion to accept retirements from Assistant Chief Whitaker, second by Mr. Kern. Mr. Mason discussed regular session trustees meetings for January 2025. Since first regular session would be on January 1st, 2025, trustees have agreed to change regular session meetings for January 1st and January 15th to special meetings on January 8th and January 22nd, 2025. Assistant Chief Mason discussed receiving an update on the Engine 81 repair from the repair amount from $8,000 to $27,483.98 without prior notification for the increase with the repairs being completed. Mr. Progensky made a motion to amend the original motion for repairs of $8,000 to $28,000, seconded by Mr. Kern. We had no old business. New business, Mr. Progensky discussed the Station 81 remodel and asked trustees to review the drawings. Ms. Williams discussed the 2025 temporary appropriations provided to the trustees. Resolution 121824-1, Mr. Shelton moved to adopt resolution to provide for the current expenses and expenditures of Harlan Township Board of Trustees during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025. The temporary sums on file be in same and hereby set aside to appropriate it for several purposes for expenditures that are made for during the said fiscal year. Seconded by Mr. Progensky. Roll call. Mr. Progensky, yes. Mr. Kern, yes. Mr. Shelton, yes. Mr. Shelton made a motion to go into executive session pursuant of Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G3 for conference with attorney for public body concerning disputes involving public body that are subject to pending court action. Seconded by Mr. Progensky. Roll call. Mr. Progensky, yes. Mr. Kern, yes. Mr. Shelton, yes. Mr. Shelton made a motion to adjourn executive session with no action at this time. Seconded by Mr. Progensky. Roll call. Mr. Progensky, yes. Mr. Kern, yes. Mr. Shelton, yes. Community comments. Bridget Ballard reported gave Mrs. Williams signed New sign rental agreements for Butlerville. Ms. Williams gave written financial reports to trustees. Mr. Shelton made a motion to pay bills, second by Mr. Brzezinski. Correspondence reviewed. Mr. Shelton made a motion to adjourn, second by Mr. Kern. Meeting adjourned at 9:20.
You have any corrections?
I have none.
I have a motion to accept the minutes as read.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
Second.
Jenny? Have your.
Pegram, you ready for your report?
Yes, sir. So first item in front of you is the levy that we discussed last meeting. Tonight, we will need to pass the first set of resolutions, a resolution of necessity to have the auditor certify a 3.5 mil fire and EMS levy for the May 6, 2025 ballot. That's the first step. Next meeting, we'll have another resolution to forward that on to the Board of Election. All that is so that we can meet the February 4th deadline with the Board of Election to have the levy on the ballot in May. So I know that it was provided to you 2 weeks ago. It's been reviewed by the board, myself, Administrator Mason, and our law director. And tonight we would like you to proceed with approving that resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution of necessity for a 3.5 mil fire EMS levy with a special election.
Second.
Okay, roll call. Mr. Brzezinski.
Yes.
Mr. Kern.
Yes.
Thank you. Tornado sirens. We have 2 sirens that are currently out of service. The siren at Whitaker Park and the siren at Rochester, Kazadale, and Pleasant Renner. Both need repairs. We have a quote from Mobilecom to repair those sirens. Just as a note, most of our sirens in Harlan Township we purchased used or got donated to us. So many of them are what's considered by the manufacturer end of life or unserviceable. In this case, they are able to get parts and repair what's wrong with them currently, but they're basically recommending that we start looking at replacing all of our sirens. Timing is pretty good because the county EMA is currently taking grant applications for a number of different things, including tornado sirens. So I'm looking into, can we start applying for an annual grant to start replacing some of the sirens? But the motion before you tonight is a motion to authorize a contract with Mobilecom for the repair of 2 outdoor warning sirens, cost not to exceed $4,200.
Make a motion to authorize contract with Mobilecom for repair of 2 outdoor warning sirens not to exceed $4,200.
Second. What, do you know what, have we got pricing on new ones?
I bought new ones probably 15 years ago, and they were about $35,000 to $40,000 installed each.
I would assume with those green, you're probably looking at 60,000 to 70,000 a piece. Somebody had to get grants are spread out.
And my thought is get a grant. If we can find a grant that will repetitively, buy 1 or 2 a year for the next however many years. I believe most of our sirens actually came from the city of Mason. So
They were donated.
Mason upgraded all their sirens. They gave us the old one.
That would be great. We could get a grant. 40,000.
So I have requested a quote for a brand new siren installed, but I haven't gotten a quote yet. I'll let you know when what we're talking about. So
With the repairs, I mean, do we have any idea how long? It could last indefinitely. It could last for.
Yeah. So the issue with the sirens, and I've had this in other communities, is they run on batteries, and they're not lithium-ion batteries. They're the old, style batteries. So with a battery that you're constantly charging, you're not using very often. The siren's only activated once a month as a test, and then periodically when there's storms. It's not getting used on a regular basis, so it's very frequent that the batteries and the other electronic components that actually activate the siren fail. Usually it's those components that fail, not the siren itself. It's the stuff that makes the siren activate that fails, and that's the case with these sirens. We're not actually fixing the sirens. We're fixing the switch boxes, the batteries, and the equipment that activates the siren.
Probably moisture.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay.
The next two items are just an update. At the last trustees meeting, you approved the purchase of rescue tools using low grant money, as well as the fire company is going to contribute towards that. Those tools are on order and should be in late February, and that will include training for our department on the new tools. And then the EMS grant that we got, all the items that were purchased under the EMS grant have been delivered and are in use. Turning to the other page, good news for our department. Although Assistant Chief Whitaker is retired on 12/31/24, he has indicated his desire to remain an active volunteer firefighter EMT with the department, which is awesome. So, board, I would ask that you pass a motion to appoint Jamie Whitaker as a volunteer firefighter EMT, effective and retroactive to January 1st, 2025. That way he doesn't have any break in his service to the community.
I'll make a motion to appoint Jamie Whitaker, volunteer fireman, EMT, as of January, retroactive as of January 1st, 2025.
Second?
Next item, just wanted to give you a synopsis on 2024. We may be off by one or two, but based on the data I got from the communication center, we had a total of 532 runs last year. That included in Harlan Township and mutual aid to other communities. 447 of those incidents were in Harlan Township. 132 of those were fire calls. 293 were EMS calls. We had 22 motor vehicle accidents that both fire and EMS respond to. We provided mutual aid to our neighboring communities 85 times. Our neighboring communities provided mutual aid to us 150 times. Of the times that mutual aid came into Harlan Township, 88 of those were ambulance calls, where we were unable to cover the call, so we had to call a mutual aid ambulance to cover the call. And that represents about 30% of our runs that Harlan Township was dispatched for, but we had to call mutual aid to cover the run for us. So as we talk about the fire and EMS levy, majority of the levy will fund staffing for the ambulance. That's the goal of the levy. We need to staff the ambulance with paid staff. We're at the point now where our fail rate is at 31%. Covering that with volunteers just not going to work anymore. So just wanted to express that. But you know, another, what I'm told about average of what we've done in the past, the call volume wise. And then my last item is just to let you know that all the fire and EMS units that were out for repair are now back in service. Any questions?
Yes. You had mentioned that our emissions system for the ventilation for the bays.
Yes, sir.
Is that an electrical issue? Or
I
is
don't-
it just a mechanical issue?
I don't know. So I haven't done anything to troubleshoot that yet. I talked with Jeff and I talked with Steve, and they didn't really know 100%. Apparently the system was put in when the building was built, but it failed to work not long after, and it was never repaired, is my understanding. But we need to look into that, because as we already have sleeping quarters in the firehouse. As we renovate the firehouse and add sleeping quarters, that becomes a code issue.
Would you like to, can we address that now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my goal was to get a contractor in to look at, troubleshoot it.
Would you like to work with somebody I can send you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll do that this week.
Should be addressed, regardless of moving forward.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I have a huge favor. My husband drives a big rig and we usually park at Mist and we can't get in there. Is there any way he can pull there for a couple of days on the very edge of the lot or in the back?
Richard?
I'm sorry, we usually have
we
parking,
usually have
I
a pretty
promise.
packed with LM Gig. I mean, LM Gig takes up this whole side, so now my staff's taking up most of this side. I mean, it couldn't be for a couple of days. It could be overnight. Like, it would have to be out by tomorrow.
Okay, can we do that?
Yeah.
Just until we figure something out, because he's been on the road for 12
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, that's fine for tonight. It'll just have to be removed before Friday. Just
Okay.
because we have more snow coming in and everything
Yeah,
else.
where's
so
the best place?
as far out toward the street as you can get.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you guys so
You're
much. I'm
welcome.
so sorry to bother you.
You know how to get a quick answer.
Yeah, that's when you get your answer.
Better time to meet everybody.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mason, you ready for your report?
Sure. Yeah, the short story is, over since the last meeting, The road crew's been either getting ready for snow, plowing snow, and now cleaning stuff up from snow removal. So they were out quite a few hours. They looked pretty good pretty quickly. So I think for a while there, the roads were better than the state roads. For what I got,
For sure.
from the phone calls that I got. Prior to that, the international dump trucks, when Larry drives, needed front shocks replaced. They were rotted out from all the years of salts. Those were replaced. And then he also found during the snow event that the cab suspension needs some repairs. So Larry's working on getting that lined up now to get that fixed, hopefully as soon as possible. Chief Peter and I met with Unified Technology a couple weeks ago. I don't know what the exact date was. They sent us a quote for a new server and doing some other tech work there. It was, I don't know the exact number, but it was more than I thought it would be. So I asked them if there was a way that we could do something that worked, but maybe didn't have an on-site server, or some way to make it a little bit cheaper. We don't have a lot of tech. We don't have a lot of users that are in there every day using things. And just try not to spend a ton of money on our IT when we don't have a huge infrastructure we're trying to support currently. So he reached back out today, said that they were still working on some options and pricing, and hope to have that this month, hopefully, or before the next meeting. So that's still in the works. Also getting a plan together to start moving some stuff from the firehouse up to the storage room. Anybody who's been in 81, there's just pictures and documents from historical runs and things. And so just trying to get that stuff up here out of the firehouse. There's also some very historical township documents from 1800s, old documents. Those are going to be coming up here as well. So first goal there is kind of figure out what we have, what we need to keep. I've already talked to Jenny about some of those things, what we can get rid of, what we have to keep, how we're going to know where it is. Doesn't do us any good to have it. If we don't know where it is, we can't find it. So just working on trying to get some of that stuff and just sitting around. The officer's room now has a table full of pictures that is heaped up and falling over. So just those types of things. I reached out to Tim Williams to see if he'd be interested in helping me track some of those and organize some of those historical documents for the fire department. He's interested in helping out with that. So again, we kind of know what we have. It's things that we want to keep. He has some videos and things. So just stuff that we need to get it preserved and have it not just laying in boxes around the firehouse to get sprayed with a hose or something. So I'm working on that over the next first part. It's going to take a little while. There's a lot of stuff. So this is going to be a year-long project. When you open the cabinet, you have stuff from 2018 all the way to like 1880. It's like all in the same place. It takes a lot of organization to try to get and figure out what's in there. So I'll be working on that here and hope to make some progress this year on that. So that's all I've got.
Weren't you wanting to move your office soon?
I'm hoping I can share it.
You got your
With
decorations right there. Your decorations are already predetermined.
Right. Yeah. So my thought is to leave it open for now so I can put tables in there and then bring boxes up and lay things out. So just trying to get the room is primarily for records retention. So I want to kind of get the records in there, get those organized, and then I can worry about the office thing later after we get that part kind of done. Kind of my thought process now.
Guess no luck on the decorations then.
Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Mason. Any old business, Ed?
Old business, working on the drawings for the firehouse. I'm probably gonna have it redrawn again by a different architect. And I'm waiting for his schedule to free up to get him in to start from scratch. But I think the longer we wait, the more we're finding out what we need to do. So I guess it's probably a good thing.
A good thing. I did.
All I have.
I don't have any new business.
New business, I have a quarterly, Regional Planning Commission quarterly meeting, January 14th.
See, that was planning commission.
Yes. RPC. That's all I have.
Don't have any. Community comments?
I gave Jenny 2 more sports rental agreements, paid in full. They're already done. I know I have Adam Roy getting ready to come up. He's gonna be there every Thursday. I actually had Sherry Martin reach out to me. I know, it was the craziest, coolest thing ever. But I guess her and a bunch of the teachers that used to teach here still get together every year to do bunko, whatever that is, I'm not sure. But it's their 25th year this year, so they thought it would be cool to have it up in the gym. So I have an email into her for her to get back to me for that.
Does anybody know what bunko is?
I don't. I have no clue.
Anybody
No.
else? Anybody else? Any comments? All right. Correspondence, Jenny?
No comment.
No correspondence. Motion to pay the bills.
Make a motion with pay bills.
Second. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.